Live.
You are
Easy,
live.
Musburger.
You are live. We are live. These are our sports DJ jocks. This is
Yeah.
everybody's Papa's Football Podcast. We don't have much time, so we're just going to play some intro music, and then Joe's going to go through the scores of Week 4, which just wrapped up. We missed Week 3, but the Redskins got ass fucked on Monday, which is what they do.
And the following Sunday.
Yeah. 2 ass fuckings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah, big old
Same.
And yet another ruined young quarterback.
Yeah. So we're gonna play the music and start the talking. There we go. I need to edit this clip better. It's like 20 seconds of crowd noise, and then it cuts to the fucking trumpets or whatever the hell. I love it. It's a great clip, but this is just way too unforgivable as an intro. It's fun when you don't have 30 minutes to record a pod. But yeah.
George Blanda, the Frozen.
There are children that were born and died before those trumpets came in.
Sadly.
Yeah, it's true. Africa's horrible. Everybody, welcome to Papa's Football Podcast. I am John Papa Giorgio. I am joined by, I'll never bill you first, you
Never. Nor should you.
Michael Johnson. Michael Big Guns.
Good evening, everyone.
There we go. And I guess Joe Gagliardi.
Yeah.
I fucking guessed.
I wouldn't even bill me first.
Who let the wop in the room? That's what I'll say.
Who let the wop out?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, oh, hey, oh. Boo, beep, bop, boo.
All right, so yeah, we missed Week 3, which again was just the Redskins getting fucked because we all knew it was coming.
Yes.
They hadn't done shit all season, and even when they're kind of okay, they are primetime poison.
Yeah.
Like that's just their thing. And they lived up to that billing. And then Week 4 came. They threw who's their new dude?
Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins to the Wolves.
Local.
Yeah.
And I think we're all, I'm done. I'm done every year, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah. It's a culture thing. I've listened to it all day, and I've thought about it.
Which
think
talk
about
station? You do 980, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll do a little 106.7. But,
Ooh, my old stomping ground.
Yeah.
Who do you like on 980? Like Steve Zabin and those guys?
I like Kevin Sheehan in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
I like Al Galdi. He's a little bit too stat ratty for me sometimes.
He's very nerdy.
Yeah,
about
he's what did he say the yesterday morning that I don't know. He was like he was looking over.
Index makes me hard.
He was like, well, Montez Sweat played 42% of the snaps. I'm not even sure if I even have that right. And Sheehan gets really into, what does he do? He's like, I just want a competitive product, and he hits those P's. I want them to compete. And everything is always like this really exaggerated, precise. He's like, when he used to do shows with Tom Libero, he's like, Tommy, hear me out. I want to go over the top 7 offensive guards from the Joe Gibbs era. Joe Gibbs, not 2.0, because
That's such a good sheet of
because there were 3 years. 1 year they were competitive. 1 year, maybe 2. They had a good defense. It wasn't elite. It wasn't. He was talking the other day about Ryan Kerrigan, who I think, I don't know. All those guys are out there practically getting killed every play, and I get tired of the nitpicking.
When did we turn the page on? We just have to get rid of our guys for draft picks, because that's the quote unquote wisdom I've heard the past couple of days.
Well, they want to burn it down and rebuild, which fine with me. I want, you know what?
As long as Snyder's the base of the pyre.
I was sitting in my car, I don't know, the other day and just dreaming about I want to find Snyder out in public. And I have so
Would
many,
you just hop on him?
I would say I would go to those places where it would be vile. It would be vile
School ties.
poison. Oh yeah. I mean, it would mix in his children and disease and burning rooms of it, just like
probably his mother, plus his mom in
yeah,
there somewhere.
Yeah. That's the guy that I just despise the most. From I mean, like it's, and then it's just top down. It's just a culture of just cheap kind of. I mean, he made his millions
right.
taking advantage of people through online, not online,
Was it phone card shit?
phone. He got in trouble for that.
Did he?
Where they were
Yeah.
switching the lines of people without their permission. They were switching their providers, but he was a direct mailing guy, you know. And then
So he's just a
It's just like
broker of misery.
sleazebag.
Yeah.
Sleazebag.
he got caught selling like old peanuts.
Yo, that he bought
yeah.
from a defunct airline.
Mhm.
We have the story where he pimped out the cheerleaders
He's just
in foreign land.
He's a big.
What? I never heard that
yeah,
one.
Oh yeah, that I can't believe that didn't get more traction.
Oh my god! I swear to God, if that story could get hammered more, it's like for years, and I mean years, we kind of always heard that Cosby like raped and drugged frauds. And then all of a sudden, there's just one weekend where it's like, oh shit, we're gonna listen as Hannibal Buress says at this time. And then 2 weeks later, he was fucking dead on the cross. You know,
Gagliardi's gonna have his 10 years from now is gonna just let it slip on stage that Dan Snyder pimps out cheerleaders. And then
that'll be it.
He'll be taken down like Cosby.
Oh my god!
My favorite part of that story is you assume I'll be on a stage in 10 years. Winner.
Hey,
Yeah.
Nice. Hey,
Do
yo, I'll take it.
Yeah.
He actually pimped. They had sex for money in foreign countries
Okay, how
on Dan
exactly
Snyder's order. I don't know.
It was they were implied. It was implied that hey, you're going to come down here, and cheerleaders like across the board have very strict contracts of what they have to do and what they can and can't do, and they were being paid for a gig where basically they were I think they were posing for pictures, maybe for a calendar, and if you paid and bought a ticket and came down, you could sit and watch.
Okay.
And they were, doing, I think they were doing costume changes and stuff like that. And then that evening, if you had bought whatever ticket and whatever it entailed, you got an escort, not a hooker, but you were going to be escorted by a cheerleader to a club. And I think the what the expectations were muddled. It was enough to make many of the girls cry while they were there and very uncomfortable. And
yeah, and this is all under Snyder's watch, and yet this piece of shit still has the team.
I'd see that. I don't understand.
If you get off your Jolly Wop donut and cut one clip to go viral from this damn show, can you just do this? If Joe.
Hey, if we can, if they, what's that?
If the three of us are the ones that bring down Dan Snyder, somehow, if the three of us,
that's who has to go. But you know what? I mean, who knows? Like the next person to take over the team would, they could.
Who could be worse? Who could be worse?
I don't know. Another billionaire.
Oh, it could be. Look at the Bengals, dude. Look at the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals. Right? I hear they.
A joke. They've been run like a. They've been. I heard a guy. I can't take credit for this. I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't me. He said the Bengals have been run more like a business than a football team. And I think that's absolutely. How do you have Andy Dalton as your quarterback for what's it been 10 years?
Dalton's not
8
horrible.
Years?
I hate to
that team is they're never winning a playoff game with that guy.
Well, we had Marvin Lewis of the.
I would say it's more Lewis, yeah.
Well, I mean, then like Jay Gruden. I mean, the amount of time that he's been stuck around.
I don't know. Look, I don't think he's the most exciting thing. I think they wanted him to be the new exciting thing, and then they had McVay.
Who, Gruden, you're talking about?
Yeah, Gruden. There was a time, I mean, people laugh about this, but there was a time where under Marvin Lewis, you had kind of his two prodigy coordinators. Was it Mike Zimmer, who's gone on to the Vikes?
No, it was Shanahan. McVay came up was with Shanahan.
No, yeah. But I'm saying like Marvin Lewis had Gruden and Zimmer. Those both go on to be coaches on their own. And they were both considered like these are sexy candidates.
LaFleur for the Packers now.
Exactly. All from Redskins. Yeah. And it's just this entire coaching tree has sprung out from under us that's doing at least decently.
But I think any of those guys outside of the Redskins and probably the Bengals would do I don't think it's fair to say because I think the culture is so bad
Yeah,
that if McVay would have stayed back here,
he would have been nothing.
yeah,
man.
he would have
fucking
had
been
to have
nothing.
eaten shit just like everybody.
Can you
else.
imagine? I forgot who the fuck said it. He was like, I thank God every day that Patrick Mahomes was drafted by Andy Reid, this fucking stable offensive genius who made him have a career. This guy's life was made by that drafting. He could have fucking gone to, like you said, the Bengals or the Skins or some other shithole team.
Yeah.
And it just would have been nothing for this guy.
Haskins going to be a basket case after that game, man.
I think it's still early for him. I think it still can be like, I think he's got a little swagger to him, but he also
This team will take
when
care
I
of it.
when I look at him, I'm like look at him play. I'm like, Case, what is it?
Case Keenum.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
Casey Kasem.
Hi.
Hey everybody, we're gonna run I right 42 dive. He's looking at him and watching him play. I'm like, he's better. I mean, just right now.
Yeah.
Like as far as like when I was watching Haskins, I was like, no. It was kind of like the same way with Cousins a lot, where it's like, I don't throw it across the Cousins had more throws. He was right-handed, and he would throw across the field to the other sideline. And well, I know the guy from the Eagles. He had pick
Wentz.
six. No, the cornerback. I was there when the Redskins actually beat the Eagles a couple years ago. They got off to a 14-0 start, and I was watching it from the stands, and a few times on Cousins throws, I was like, and then it was like right before halftime, pick six, and then I think it was like a punt return, and it was like 14-14 going into half.
Only smart thing that the Skins have done is in the past several years is letting Cousins go,
and I
that
didn't
was
even
one of their
agree with
fucking
that.
Picks. Well, yeah, you locked him up early. He would have been cheap enough to keep around. He would have been Dalton-esque, but you would have had money.
He
for the
did
rest of
all
the
right.
fucking team.
He did all right with the Vikings coordinator this year.
Well, that's what they say. That's what they say. That the court it goes beyond the person.
Because he did all right last year, and then this year, like apparently they're run first, which is good. If you have Dalvin Cook, I have Adam Thielen. That is not. I have Adam Thielen and Joe Mixon that are killing me right now. In my
Man, he can't hit him. Yeah.
What's that?
He can't hit him. No, he's not.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. I mean, Cousins is like, I think he's respectable. You know, like Joe.
He's Dalton, man. He's in that Dalton milieu.
I would much rather have him than Case Keenum or Colt McCoy.
Shit, Oh, he's clearly a tier beyond that. I mean, Keenum, those first couple of games, what's weird to me is how your first few games, they're kind of in the mix for at least the half.
They have no discipline. That is the cultural thing, is like it goes from penalties to discipline, playing a full game, to being held accountable for mistakes. I mean, it is like going into a place where you've worked, where you're like, your boss was like, he's okay. I don't know. Or if I ever look back and look at like coaches I had, like some of the hard asses or some of the hard ass bosses that I had, it was a well-run organization.
Yeah.
You know, like shit got done. It was good. And then, the places where, the people were nice. I mean, sometimes you'd have like, I think my day job now, that my boss is a really good, where he like strikes a balance, but like, Jay Gruden is not. I mean, he doesn't know when to use his timeouts.
Nah, he just wants the fuck out, though, man.
Fucking on Sunday, the Giants called a timeout, and he had Haskins come over and talk to him, and then he let him back on the field with 10 seconds left, and they had to use a timeout with the clock stopped.
Back-to-back timeouts. Yeah.
It's just like, God. And then like in the press conference, he goes, yeah, the ref didn't tell me. And it's like, no, you pay attention. Do your job like Bill Belichick would have told you.
Yeah.
I don't care if people hate the Patriots. After being a Redskins fan for so long, I love watching a well-run organization.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, they deflated footballs and they were spying. Everyone does that. Anybody that can get over on anybody in the NFL is doing that, and they happen to get
cheating. You're not trying.
Did you see the video of I can't remember the Buffalo Bills coach's name, but whoever the
Marv Levy.
no, whoever the coach of the Buffalo Bills is, there's video of him this weekend from the Patriots Bills game in pregame warmups. He personally escorts Belichick's son and some other Patriots staffer off the field because they hung around too long during the Bills warmups. You think they're not like? I'm telling you right now, he's cheating. Brady's doing something. Brady.
Belichick has a guy that he has hired just to do research. This guy Ernie Adams. I watched 2 Patriot documentaries on YouTube and got to know their
YouTube doc.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
Well, one's called Do Your Job and the other one was called Do Your Job 3, so I missed the second one. But they're so well run.
Sounds like your job's finding number 2.
Yeah, and I was like, I love Belichick.
I love the contrast here. You have Belichick the machine, and then you got Michael Johnson just jumping from 1 to 3.
Oh yeah,
how much could I miss?
It was up next. So I was like,
fucking let it roll.
Episode 2 is Dan Snyder.
Oh, it's so bad. I can feel the emotion boiling up in me when I talk about it.
It's hard to convey as a Skins fan what you have to do to stay sane. I have this very dispassionate, I'm a fan of football as a whole, that I've had to take on the past decade.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let them suck this year, and it's not gonna affect me. What? I'll do something else on. I will. You know what? I'm gonna make some chicken marsala on Sunday afternoon. I will learn how to cook, and then I feel like I've been brainwashed. I was I've been a fan too long, too early in my life that it is.
I'm right on that. That's the annoying thing. I'm right on the cusp. If I'd been born literally 5 years later, I would have been able to just, peace, give them the Nixon double peace signs and get the fuck out of there. But I have childhood, like maybe my first childhood sports memory is them beating the Bronx. And then
mine was the Super Bowl they beat the Dolphins.
See, it just sticks with you, man. It sticks with you, and I hate it. And then I was like 11-ish for them beating the Bills. So I have like very vivid adult memories of watching that one.
Yeah, and then the next year they lost to the Raiders, then they beat the Broncos, and a few years they beat the Bills. And my first 14, 15 years of my life were like, well, I guess my team goes to the Super Bowl every year.
Exactly. I just I was like, mommy, everyone goes to playoffs always, I had no comprehension.
I remember
I was witnessing
my brother asking my dad after church one year, we were driving back, and he's like, do you think the Redskins are going to the playoffs this year? And my dad was like, no, I don't think so, not this year. And I was like, you fucking nuts, old man. It was like such a bizarre, like, what?
Let me tell you how the world works.
Why would you even say that? Yeah, and now it's please don't let them play on Monday night.
Yeah,
or like
exactly. It is legitimately an embarrassment because I have my Twitter friends and my Facebook friends from all over the country who have to reach out and be like, "Are you watching this?" I'm like, good, because this is all they get. This is all they see of it. Where they're somehow even worse, the Redskins are than they typically are on a Sunday. If it's a primetime game, they're guaranteed to suck cock. Yeah. And usually I can skate and I was like, they lost again. But when it's a primetime thing, my phone blows the fuck up. I'm like, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
It's like they mess all over themselves somehow.
Yeah. Because I'm angry because everyone pities me or mocks me. And on top of that, I'm losing a game I would actually want to. God help me when they are the Sunday night game ruins my fucking week. I can't. That Sunday night game, that's like just how I chill out. I've got it on the background. I kind of come in like for the fourth quarter, typically, if it's close. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is where I'm really paying attention. If it's the Redskins, man, what am I going to do? Watch Succession 3 times in a row? No,
what you do is you get on YouTube.
Okay.
And
find part 2.
Yeah. You dial up the 1982 NFC Championship game against the Cowboys.
Okay.
And I've watched that a few times. And you got Pat Summerall and John Madden doing the game.
Shit,
and you get a good view of RFK.
Yeah.
And it's packed. and the people that are in there, they look like people that just just like I got off I worked at the factory all week,
Okay, I'm
and I
gonna cry.
made it into
Go ahead.
RFK. And like at one point, Pat Summerall and John Madden are like, "This place is shaking."
It literally
know,
shook.
yeah.
RFK used to
Yeah,
shake.
it
Yes.
shakes.
And
Yeah.
it was in that game too, and the way they beat the Cowboys. I mean, they knocked out. I think they concussed Danny White. Dexter Manley hit Danny White so hard that that it's so,
Childlike glee.
that it's so funny that they're even like, I don't know, he might come back in, and he's like kind of like looking down at the ground like. And Hogaboom is actually the guy that came back in and lit a spark for him and brought him back into the game. But and another good game to watch. I saw this come up on my YouTube feed the other day. Was the most dangerous or deadliest game ever played in the NFL, which was the '84 Bears versus the defending Super Bowl champs Raiders.
Okay.
And the Bears knocked out all of the quarterbacks that the Raiders had, and they were playing in Soldier Field, and it was freezing, and it was on that concrete AstroTurf.
Yeah.
and I forget who it was doing the game, but they're like, well, the Raiders are down to Ray Guy, their punter, is a quarterback, and you see Guy talking to the head coach. I was at Flora. Just like, no, I'm not going in. No,
Yeah.
find somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's not me. And they actually brought the guy back in who was starting for them, who would have never have gone back in the game today.
Yeah.
I think he had 2 concussions. Howie Long threatened somebody on the Bears that he was gonna find him out in the parking lot, and he didn't care if his family was there. They people were just dropping like flies. That was like the body bag game with the Redskins and the Eagles.
When was that one?
That was Monday night. That was Brian Mitchell's rookie year because he
Okay.
came in and quarterback because they knocked out Humphreys, and I don't know if it was
This is like that game Mutant League Football, but real. Like, where
yeah.
players
Well, I mean,
die.
it was another one
Rippin?
of those.
Mark Rippin?
It might have been
It
Rippin.
was Rippin.
It was another one of those concrete slabs of AstroTurf,
Uh-huh.
which was Vet Stadium in Philadelphia,
Jesus
and they
Christ.
just obliterated the Redskins. And Mitchell had to come in because he played quarterback in
Okay.
college.
Good Lord.
And then the best part of that though is then watching the next game. You can find it where the Redskins knocked the Eagles out of the playoffs that year. Though still, But,
Oh, so they used to win.
yeah,
I
they
don't
did.
need to know that. Well, fuck it, man. That's pretty
Joe
much
Gibbs. I mean, he ran a good organization. He did such a good
But
job.
Jack Ken Cook at the top, man. The fact, okay, we can close on this. Michael, what happened? Because I was a little young for this process, or I wasn't paying rapt attention. What the fuck happened that the Cook family did not take over the organization?
Well, they did. They tried to. Snyder outbid him, and
the league is that fucking garbage.
I
that-
just was listening about to this subject not too long ago, but
this
I-
is the fucking fanfic as Redskins fans. We have to the
The-
alternate reality bullshit. Like,
the Cook
what if?
sons actually, one of them did formed a buyers group
okay,
that just was outbid by Dan Snyder. And
but isn't it just?
I guess you can't leave the team to your kids. I don't
I
know. I
don't-
don't remember what exactly.
Didn't the Roonies like leave their like? I feel like there's all sorts of families that just keep the
yeah,
fucking.
I don't
team.
know the business piece of it, but like exactly.
Like the Fords have the Lions, and the Bills, I think, is like a family thing.
but
Raiders. I mean, it's a bunch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah. The
I-
Bears.
I'm
The
not
Bears.
sh-
I think have been. The
I'm
house
sure you
thing.
can.
is it
look
like winning
that
a
up.
car on Oprah? You're like, I can't pay the taxes on this bitch.
It
You gotta
could be.
sell it.
Yeah, I mean, but he has taken it and run it into the ground.
Yeah, and it never. He will never recuse himself, and it will never change with him at the top. And it's the most powerless. I feel more power in my ability to ultimately lose weight or succeed as an entertainer than I
Look at
do.
you.
Yeah, than I do my fucking football team, the one sport I really give a shit about.
I'm going to lose a lot of people when I say this, but if someone came to me and said, would you take 4 more years of Trump, or we'll remove Dan Snyder, keep the team in Washington, but we don't know who's going to take over, I'll be like, I'll roll the dice.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I know that that's not going to happen.
You're
If-
right, though. He's never going to recuse himself. I mean, the NFL franchises are like some of the most lucrative.
No, he's
businesses
going
on
to
planet Earth.
He will never see through his hubris. He's just going to be like, I can fix
Oh,
this. I can
he's-
fix this.
I think he's, as people say these days, I think he's like maybe Asperger's kind of spectrum.
He might be. He's a
He's a
dirtbag either way. I mean, that's the
spaz.
thing. Like,
He is
Yeah,
just
he's not even just a
spaz.
cold piece of shit. He's a fucking geeky one.
You
but
should you should see there are pictures of him right after he bought the team where he's like 34, 35, and he takes a helicopter into Frostburg State University and he gets out and he's got a cigar and he's talking to Norv
just such
Turner
a
on the-
tryhard, yeah.
he's that guy from The Simpsons. Remember the rich guy in The Simpsons that Marge used to date?
Oh,
Artie.
shit.
Artie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he is. Like Artie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is Johnny Try Too Hard.
Yeah. Oh, fuck
He's the
him.
worst. He's the
Hopefully
absolute
though,
worst, man.
I don't know, maybe something will happen to
Yeah, I
him.
know. But he's rich, so they'll detect it early. But yeah,
Right.
all you can do is be like, is there stealth cancer?
Can you just something happen?
Yeah, and I don't wish that. It's not me like comedy wishing that on someone. I'm like, please die, like for real, just for the happiness of everyone, man. Well, shit. I mean, I wish we had more time because you've
I know. I'm sorry.
revealed yourself to
I,
be the fucking sports host of sports.
I,
Host.
I took all of the time. I'm sorry.
No, I'm fine with it. It's like,
It's-
yeah,
We had a big thing before this, man. I was like,
Yeah.
just let him go.
it's like Chuck Berry.
There's
plugging
all
in
good
and
stuff.
Shredding. What am I gonna
It's
do?
all good stuff.
Fucking little smoke on the water by his side. No.
This has been Michael's
Let the man
basement.
play. Yeah, everyone. That was Papa's Football Podcast starring Michael Johnson.
Hey, everybody. Hey, call my 800 number. I got your locks of the week.
The Daily Wager.
I am 5 for 5 on bets I didn't do.
5 for
Love it.
prime time picks.
Mike, what are your Twitter and Facebook, whatever the Insta?
At MIKAELL John. Michael L. John.
There you go, Joe.
Is at the mighty Joey G. Get him.
I am John Papa Giorgio at Papa's Basement. This is Papa's Football Podcast at pfpod.com.